On tonight's late IHP show, we get to look at the lovely energies of the lunar eclipse partial. It's coming up, and our full moon. My 5D mystics, and I know the 4D mystics too, we all get to pick up on these amazing energies. Some people, they don't even know. When you tell them about the Schumann resonance or about astrological events, they tease you, right? They tease us. They say that we're getting obsessed. We're not, but I remember when I began to notice the cycles, and I said, okay, I need to move beyond the conceptualization of the topic. So being able to release the reins on information. Mahasamadhi. Samadhi is the word, or are the words that I learned that indicate you have an independent relationship with information. So for 5D mystics, this is very straightforward because we have a whole 3-year-old heart. And that's whether it's with an adult who's holding the hand of their 3-year-old after a journey with either childhood trauma therapy or in one way, shape, or form, uncovering that their disconnect, the emotional body and the brain, the mind, is not something that actually equates that they're defective. And it equates that they have, or they had, childhood trauma or some type of unresolved attachment wound. There's many different ways. I don't do diagnoses. I'm just trauma-informed and somatic-informed. So on that note, 5D mystics, even without any of trauma or somatic informed stuff, we will know of the relationship with our Oversoul. And we will know of the beauty of being connected to those that are part of our past lives, our present, future, some. I know, how many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's like 8 or 10 people that are from this life in my future life. And I had that dream, one of my first dreams, my astral travel. I call it a dream because, but it was future. I remember clearly as day, the entire dream. I could share it all. Maybe one day I will, if our community gets together though. It's fun to share it. So yes, I have a future family. And it's funny to see when people who don't have clairs, they're like, where's your family? But you're single. Aren't you polyamorous? I thought you were solo poly. I'm like, yes, not this future, like now. Future, when I won't be Maria anymore. And they're like, what? So far I've had people only share with me in private, and sometimes right in front of people, you sound like a crazy lady, Maria. It's like a movie. It's like, well, I live it like not a movie. It's actually something you wake up from. Like, wow, I remember every little detail. So for example, part of this dream begins where I'm in my home and I'm looking down on my yard, and in this future I have a husband and he's mowing the lawn, and I'm like, what is he doing? The earth is going to end and he's mowing the lawn. Why is he mowing the lawn? And I'm like, well, wait a minute, he likes landscapes. He likes to keep things tidy. That's his habit. That's his pattern. Okay, so here I shared. But it's so adorable because that's not even half of how the continuation of the dream. Oh, and fast forward to what this past year, I found out even more about my future. So that's fun. That's why we're getting the 5D mystics together so we can actually enjoy it versus what 4D does, which, let's get to 4D. They're always talking about your saga of twin flame and personal development, and it can't be this type of person. Or now I've started seeing people, you're not going to end up with your twin flame. And I'm like, wow, everybody seems to know everything about everybody else, versus realizing that your oversoul is your relationship, other people's oversoul, but some people want that guidance. So that's where the 4D mystics, they go to their readers and they literally and actively like, oh, look, my reader, they told me about my future. And it's like, okay, so you don't know who you are, huh? I guess your clairs aren't working that well. I go for entertainment, one, and then I'm curious to stay connected because our themes do connect to each other. And so when I'm watching a 4D readers, I'm aware of what the 4D collective is going through. And then there's also really good readers. And I should say they're all good readers. I shouldn't be partial. But I don't enjoy the ones who talk about energy vampires, dark auras, cut cords, all of this stuff. Like, seriously, what year are you in? Because you've been doing this for a long time. I actually saw one reader go from very beautiful readings to like, seriously, I'm like, who's watching this? I do know they put entertainment sometimes, but I'm like, wow, because I know that for the person who's reading, it's not entertainment. That's why it's not funny. Like this, and these individuals, they channel. I know what it means to channel, and when you're reading tarot, what happens. So it's not something negative. But I've seen readers move from healthy, I say brain, so optimized a human being, to not bettered and improved. It's too bad they don't listen and watch for neuroscience, because they totally understand when they start to have specific experiences what's going on, and they might get support instead of believing that what they're seeing is a reality, and remembering it's in your mind's eye, so it's not a reality. And if you're that overwhelmed with emotions in a way that is destabilizing, even though it's not destabilizing, but it's not happy. So Patrick McNamara, I've shared with you all his name before. I'll share it again. He's great, and he gets interviewed. In one of the interviews, there's 3 of them on Well or Big Think, he talks about the brain and our brain when we have REM interrupting or erupting in the daytime state, as well as what it does in nighttime. And when people have demons that they see, and that they go through nightmares after nightmares, and this fear receptor, and that it can be wonky or breaks. So when I say I've seen readers, and I'm not thinking it's funny, I laugh for that humorous laugh, but not at people. I actually feel bad, but they choose to consciously believe that the plane that is in their mind's eye is true. And this lady is like all over the place, and I'm wondering who's following her, because her followers are growing. And I know of 4D people who believe themselves that they are the lighthouses attracting that which is not light, versus learning about trauma-informed and somatic-informed, and then staying grounded and actually sharing. It doesn't mean people are going to hear you. In fact, I've shared with at least a handful of 4D mystics how important it is for them to start going to a good therapist to check in, a good one, so not one that would ridicule them or make fun of our clairs, one that would know about somatics, so one that would be in the realm of, but even here, they'd have to be somebody who is more, what's the word? They value more the scientific methodology and education than the holistic spiritual plane. Because I've seen people who are shamans tell people, don't go to therapy, come do the ritual, I'll heal you quicker than the therapist will. That, no, you're not that person's nervous system. You can't teach them to self-regulate. You can clear an aura, you can clear a specific level of charge. I'm a Reiki master, I understand what it means to be able and clear something, but the person is the one who then in their relationships gets to begin to engage and work with and needs to know about the human elements. So how trauma actually is what a person who has trauma is what they seek, because that's how their body feels alive, as I shared in one of our recent channeled guidances. So it's a serious business. To be trauma-informed is good for anybody. Most people just use their lips to weaponize the words and use them against each other, which is even more sad, because they're actually re-traumatizing. But they might be seeking for that exchange because it's the only thing they know. Well, not really. It's not, because we have plenty of 5D educators. So now we can explain the hurt people who hurt people. They can find good information. Not all of them do. They do projection. We learn how to catch it and say, hey, thanks for this projection. Can we talk? And then if they talk, we talk. And if not, we don't. And, you keep learning how to navigate those who are expanding their consciousness. And through our relationships, we heal each other and get to become grown-ups. Those who don't, they stay within 4D plane or other planes. 3D is one as well. And, you know, they will have time to get good information. So share the love. Tune in.